I can reach inside your mind. What's that I see? A younger self peeking out at me? Are you from the age of empire? Before 𝐒𝐤𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐸 pierced its side.
On Synax, Harry's digital form appears on the beggar, and boiling with anger, he tells Gail that he has been trapped, conscious and aware for the past 138 years, while she was in cryosleep. He warns them that since Gail prevented the Second Foundation from being created by walking in on Raish killing Harry, Terminus could become corrupt, and that the war with the Empire is coming soon. When Salvor tries to appeal to Harry, he also confirms that he is a separate consciousness from the one on Terminus, and that they don't share each other's minds. Knowing that the storms will destroy them soon, Harry interfaces with the ship and fixes the engine problem. Salvor then takes a risky trip outside to clear a blockage in the ship's vent, allowing Gail to pilot the beggar safely into the clouds above. Meanwhile, on the impoverished planet of Suena, located in the Outer Reach, a preacher named Brother Constant roams the outback on her beastly mount, Becky, and discovers something horrible. Sent on behalf of the Foundation's Church of the Galactic Spirit, Constant and her associates have arrived on Suena to spread Hari Seldon's prophecy. Returning to camp, Brother Constant wakes up her fellow preacher, Polly Verisov, and injects him with a detox syringe, as Polly is still hungover. Outside, Constant shows Polly the dead body of another preacher, seemingly killed by the locals for blasphemy. On Trantor, Demerzel meets with Brother Day in the mural room and tells him that Dawn and Dusk have been cleared by the memory scan procedure. In addition to wiping the minds of the medical staff from the day of the assassination, Demerzel promises to follow up on any potential loopholes and leads. On the subject of the possible Foundation rebellion brewing in the Outer Reach, Demerzel suggests that they send Belrioz, a disgraced but highly capable military general, to investigate. Although Day initially hates the idea, since Belrioz directly disobeyed him in the past, he agrees, but orders Demerzel to kill him if he declines the offer. Afterward, the three brothers practice with a movement coach in preparation for dinner, as their drifting genetic code makes it harder for them to match each other's habits. However, Brother Day assures them that while their DNA issue is being worked on, his forthcoming marriage will make the corrections irrelevant. Back aboard the beggar, Gail and Salvor discuss the Second Foundation and why Gail prevented its construction. When Harry joins the discussion, Gail realizes that since she caused Harry's plan to go off course, perhaps she can fix it too. Feeling that Salvor's powers have emboldened her own, Gail reviews the Prime Radiant timeline, and Harry suggests that her recent visions might be from her perspective, 150 years in the future. Back on Trantor, the brothers share dinner with Queen 𝐒𝐤𝐢𝐻 and her advisor, Rue. Queen 𝐒𝐤𝐻 tells them about her home system, Cloud Dominion, and how her entire family was killed in a Zeppelin crash, leaving her as ruler. Pressing her luck, she asks the brothers about the clones they use as replacements and Day's recent assassination attempt. Seeing as how her marriage to Day and their subsequent children will change the royal order of the Empire, she also brings up the concern that Brother Dawn will have lost his purpose as successor to Brother Day. After dinner, Day and 𝐒𝐤𝐻 walk through the Principium and view the clones, discussing their potential union. Concerned for their future children, 𝐒𝐤𝐻 tells Day that she believes that the assassination attempts are not over, and that the Empire is slowly dying due to the corruption of their genetic lineage. Meanwhile, on Suena, Constant walks through a town to promote an upcoming church show that night, but she is accosted by a group of locals who call her a heretic. When a mob starts to attack her, Constant is protected by a personal aura, but it starts to fail. Luckily, she is rescued when Polly floats down from the sky in a ray of light and harmlessly tosses the troublemakers aside. Using showmanship and flashy stage magic, Polly puts on a presentation about Hari Seldon and tells them about how he personally saw Harry exit the vault 138 years ago. As the show ends, he encourages the settlers of Suena to join in their faith and states that they have been abandoned by the Empire. Returning to their ship, Constant and Polly receive word from Terminus that the vault is about to open, so they head back home in a hurry, although Polly fears that a second crisis is coming. Back aboard the beggar, Gail attempts to induce a vision, but realizes that she must be unconscious to do so. By depriving the room of oxygen, she simulates drowning and is projected into a vision 150 years in the future. Thrust into battle in the middle of a destroyed city, Gail is attacked by a man named the Mule, who mocks her as she tries to flee. Using his mental powers, he infiltrates her mind in search of the location of the second foundation, and realizes that Gail is watching them from the past. As the vision fades, the Mule claims that Gail will lead a group of warriors called the Mentalics, and a man named 𝐒𝐩𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐸 will pierce the hide of the Empire. Pulled back to the present, Gail tells Hari and Salvor all about the Mule, and reflecting on the memory, tells them that the second foundation is supposed to be created on a nearby planet called Ignis. When Salvor pulls up the planet on the ship's navigation system, she claims to feel voices calling to them from Ignis, further encouraging them to investigate. As Constant and Polly land on Terminus, Polly is rushed to a meeting by Warden Fount. There, they gather with other political leaders of Terminus, including Director Seth Cermak, and discuss the vault's opening. Warden Fount tells them that he will try to have a private discussion with Hari, while Polly waits with the crowd. When Polly disagrees, Director Cermak backs up Warden Fount, who further scolds Polly for his alcoholism and drug use. After the meeting, Constant reunites with her fathers, Pater and Director Cermak. As everyone gathers outside, Warden Fount approaches the vault, which begins to transform. However, when Hari Seldon does not emerge, the Warden tries to enter the vault and starts to levitate in the air, repeating the name 𝐒𝐩𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐸 over and over. He eventually vaporizes in a fiery flash, leaving the words 𝐒𝐩𝐢𝐬𝐬𝐸 engraved on the side of the vault. Back on the beggar, Salvor finds Gail on the bridge of the ship, worried about their trip to Ignis. Fearful that they are being tricked by the Mule, Gail reveals that during her vision, she also saw Salvor during the battle, lying dead on the ground beside her.